Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be missed? Not in the fleeting surface-level way, but in a way that lingers, that gently tugs at the heartstrings in the quiet moments of solitude. Think about it. The memories, the connection, the warmth of shared experiences. When a woman starts realizing how much she misses you, it's not just about physical absence, it's about the emotional space you once filled, a space that now feels irreplaceably empty. Here's the truth. Most people underestimate the power of absence. They chase, they cling, they attempt to keep the spark alive by sheer force. But what if I told you that real longing, the kind that makes someone reflect deeply and crave your presence, is born in silence? It's not about the noise you make in someone's life, but the profound silence you leave behind. Why does she miss you? What shifts within her that turns your absence into a powerful echo of action? Together, we'll explore the layers of her realization, unveiling the subtle yet potent ways your presence left an indelible mark. But first, let's tackle a common misconception. Many believe that being missed is about grand gestures or dramatic departures. In reality, it's about authenticity, emotional depth, and the quiet strength that Stoicism embodies. When you integrate these principles into your life, you naturally cultivate a presence so meaningful that your absence speaks louder than words. So how can you master this art? How do you become someone whose absence lingers in her thoughts and whose presence she yearns for? In this journey, we'll explore 9 profound triggers, each a window into her heart and mind. Together, we'll unravel these mysteries and discover how Stoic wisdom transforms not only how you're missed, but how you live and love. Stay with me, because by the end, you won't just understand the power of being missed, you'll embody it. Ready to dive in? Let's begin. 1. She reflects on her own mistakes. Imagine this. She's sitting alone, the world quiet around her. The distractions of the day fade, and she's left with her thoughts. Suddenly, memories of you surface, not the surface-level recollections, but the moments that mattered. She replays conversations, revisits shared laughter, and even recalls the silences where everything felt understood. And then, a realization dawns. There were cracks, misunderstandings, moments she misread or mishandled. She begins to see her part in the story. This is where her journey inward begins. In the quiet corners of her mind, she starts piecing together the puzzle of your relationship. She recognizes the missed opportunities for connection, the times she let her pride overshadow her vulnerability. Have you ever wondered what it feels like for her to see those moments in a new light? It's not just regret, it's a profound understanding of what was lost. Stoicism teaches us the power of self-examination, and this is where it shines. When she begins to reflect on her own mistakes, it's not about self-pity but growth. She starts to understand that the tension, the distance, wasn't solely on your shoulders. This clarity can be painful, but it's also transformative. In your absence, she learns. And as she learns, she begins to value what you brought into her life. Think about the power of silence here. You haven't pressured her, haven't pointed fingers. Your calm, steady demeanor, rooted in the Stoic principles of patience and self-mastery, allows her the space to reach these conclusions on her own. She realizes that you were the kind of person who didn't demand accountability, but inspired it through your actions and presence. This self-reflection stirs something deep within her. It's not just about missing the person you were, it's about missing the person she could have been with you. She starts to wonder, what if she had communicated differently? What if she had shown more appreciation? What if she hadn't let small grievances overshadow the bigger picture of your connection? Here's the beauty of this moment. It's entirely hers. You've given her the gift of self-discovery. In her newfound understanding, she doesn't just long for your presence, she respects it. She sees the value of your calm strength, your unwavering principles, and your ability to lead without controlling. And here's where the intrigue deepens. What does she do with this realization? Does she reach out, hoping to mend what was broken? Or does she hold on to the lesson, carrying it with her as a reminder of the kind of connection she wants, and the kind she might have lost? For you, the key is patience. Resist the urge to intervene or correct her path. Trust that your absence, combined with your authentic way of being, is already doing the work. As she reflects on her mistakes, she's also reflecting on your virtues. And that, my friend, is how you begin to transform her longing into a profound appreciation for the man you are. Now, take a moment to think about this. Have you ever experienced a time when someone's absence made you reflect deeply on your own actions? How did it change the way you saw them and yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonates, stay tuned. We're only just beginning to uncover the layers of how absence can turn into a powerful echo of connection. Let's move on to the next trigger. The journey gets even more intriguing from here. 2. She feels the emotional void during challenges. Picture this. Life throws its inevitable challenges her way. Maybe it's a rough day at work, a disagreement with a friend, or one of those moments when everything seems to pile up at once. In the midst of this emotional turbulence, a curious thing happens. She doesn't just think about how to solve the problem or who to talk to, she thinks about you. Why? Because in those moments of uncertainty and overwhelm, she remembers the calm steadiness you once brought into her life. When things got tough, you weren't just there, you were present in a way that made the world feel a little less chaotic. You listened without judgment, offering quiet wisdom that never felt forced or condescending. You didn't rush to fix everything, but somehow, your very presence made things feel more manageable. Now, as she navigates these challenges alone, your absence becomes more pronounced. She may have friends or family to lean on, but it's not the same. There's a unique comfort that only you provided, a sense of stability that's hard to find elsewhere. She starts to feel the weight of that emotional void, and with it, the realization of just how much she relied on your steady hand. This is where Stoicism plays a vital role. The Stoic approach to relationships emphasizes self-control, emotional balance, and being a source of strength not only for yourself but for others. You embodied these qualities, and now, in your absence, they've become a benchmark she unconsciously measures others against. It's not that she expects someone to solve her problems for her. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from within, but the memory of how you stood by her, offering quiet support without taking over, lingers. She starts to see the difference between those who merely sympathize and those who provide true, grounding empathy. And here's the profound part. It's not just about the help you offered, but how you offered it. There's a power in being a calm presence in someone's storm, in showing up with patience and understanding rather than trying to dominate the narrative. You weren't just someone she could lean on. You were someone who made her feel capable of facing her own challenges. Now, as she sits alone, grappling with the latest curveball life has thrown her way, she feels the contrast. The people around her might offer well-meaning advice or temporary distraction, but they lack the depth of connection she had with you. She misses the way you made her feel seen, heard, and understood without ever making her feel small or dependent. This realization isn't immediate, it builds over time. Each new challenge she faces without you there to ground her deepens her appreciation for what you once brought into her life. She begins to crave that sense of calm, that quiet strength that now feels like a rare and precious gift. There's a certain irony here. In the very moments when she's supposed to be focused on solving her own problems, her mind keeps drifting back to you. It's as if her heart is reminding her of the unique role you played, a role that, despite her best efforts, no one else has been able to fill. So what does this mean for you? It's a testament to the power of presence, the kind that Stoicism encourages. By cultivating inner stability and extending it to those around you, you create a connection that resonates deeply. And when life inevitably tests her, that connection becomes a touchstone, a reminder of what true support looks and feels like. She's not just missing the person you were, she's missing the experience of being with someone who brought out the best in her during life's most challenging moments. And that kind of longing isn't easily forgotten. In the silence of your absence, she's learning a powerful lesson: the value of calm, composed presence in a world that often feels overwhelming. And as each challenge passes, the echo of your support grows louder, making her realize just how much she misses having you by her side. 3. She notices the disruption of daily routines. Routine has a way of quietly weaving itself into the fabric of our lives. The little habits, the shared moments, the seemingly insignificant rituals, they form a comforting rhythm, a steady backdrop to the ever-changing dynamics of a relationship. Now, imagine what happens when that rhythm is disrupted. She wakes up and instinctively reaches for her phone, only to realize there's no morning message from you. It was just a few words, maybe something simple like good morning or have a great day, but it had become a part of her daily routine. It wasn't about the message itself, it was about the thought behind it, the sense that someone out there was thinking of her as the day began. Later, she might head out for lunch, remembering how you'd occasionally check in with a quick text or share a funny meme to brighten her afternoon. Or maybe in the quiet of the evening, she feels the absence more deeply. Where there once was a familiar voice or a shared conversation to wrap up the day, there's now silence. These disruptions are subtle at first. She might not even fully register them immediately. But as the days pass, the void grows more apparent. The routines you shared, no matter how small, carried a significance that she now finds herself longing for. They were threads that wove her day together, and without them, the fabric feels a little looser, a little less complete. This is where the power of consistency and presence reveals itself. Stoicism teaches us to be intentional in our actions, to approach life with purpose and mindfulness. The daily routines you established with her were not just mindless habits, they were acts of connection. Small yet powerful reminders of your presence and care. Now, in your absence, these routines have transformed into triggers, reminders of what once was. Each disruption highlights the emotional gap you left behind. The quiet moments of her day, once punctuated by your presence, now feel noticeably empty. And here's the beautiful irony. These small disruptions often carry more weight than grand gestures ever could. A morning message might seem trivial, but its absence speaks volumes. It's a reminder of the emotional security and connection that once anchored her day. As she moves through her routine, she begins to notice how much of it was intertwined with you. The coffee shop where you used to meet, the song that always played during your late-night chats, even the way she smiles at certain jokes because they remind her of you. These routines weren't just about shared actions, they were about shared meaning. She starts to reflect on how those small moments shaped her days, how they brought a sense of warmth and connection. And now, without them, she feels a distinct void. She might try to fill it with other activities or distractions, but nothing quite fits. The absence of those routines becomes a constant, quiet reminder of how much you mattered in her life. What makes this even more impactful is the way these disruptions creep into her subconscious. She might be in the middle of her day when something triggers a memory, a specific time you always called, a phrase you used to say, or a place you frequented together. These moments catch her off guard, stirring emotions she thought she had under control. It's in these small, unguarded instances that she begins to truly understand the depth of what she's missing. The routines were more than just habits, they were reflections of your bond, a testament to the connection you shared. Now, in their absence, she feels the weight of that loss. This realization doesn't come all at once. It builds over time, with each disrupted routine serving as a gentle nudge, a reminder of the role you played in her life. And as she navigates her days, she starts to understand that the routines weren't just about convenience or habit, they were about you. In your absence, she learns the value of consistency, of the small, thoughtful actions that form the foundation of a meaningful connection. She starts to miss the steady rhythm you brought to her life, realizing that those little moments of connection were far more significant than she ever gave them credit for. It's not about the grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It's about the quiet, unassuming presence you brought to her daily life, a presence she now finds herself longing for in ways she never expected. 4. She compares others to you. As time passes, she begins to meet new people. Maybe she's out with friends on a date, or simply interacting with someone new in her life. At first, these encounters feel promising. a chance to start fresh, to connect with someone who might bring new energy or excitement. But then, something unexpected happens. In the middle of a conversation, she catches herself comparing. He's funny, but not in the same way you were. He listens, but he doesn't quite understand her the way you did. The comparison isn't deliberate. It sneaks in, subtle and uninvited. Yet it's there, and it grows stronger with each interaction. This is one of the most profound ways she starts to realize how much she misses you. It's not just about the qualities you brought to the relationship, it's about how those qualities made her feel. Your humor didn't just make her laugh, it made her feel light, understood, and deeply connected. Your attentiveness didn't just satisfy a need for conversation, it made her feel truly seen and valued. As she measures others against the standard you set, a quiet but powerful truth emerges. What you offered wasn't just unique, it was irreplaceable. This realization begins to haunt her in the quiet spaces of her mind. She starts to understand that the connection she had with you wasn't something that could easily be replicated. Here's where Stoicism plays a pivotal role. Stoic philosophy emphasizes authenticity, living in alignment with your true self and values. This is what made you stand out. You weren't trying to impress her or mold yourself into someone else's expectations. You simply lived with integrity, embracing your strengths and being unapologetically yourself. This kind of authenticity is rare, and she starts to see it more clearly now. The people she meets might be charming, kind, even exciting, but they don't have your depth, your steadiness, or your ability to connect on a profound level. It's not just about finding someone new, it's about realizing that the connection she's looking for may have already come and gone. The comparisons become a quiet chorus in her mind. She might not say it out loud, but internally she's asking herself, why doesn't it feel the same? Why does every new connection fall short of the one we shared? These questions linger, deepening her sense of loss and longing. And here's where you, the audience, come in. Have you ever been in a situation where you found yourself comparing someone new to a past connection? How did it make you feel? Did it lead you to appreciate what you had, or did it help you realize what you were truly looking for? Let's reflect together. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been the one who couldn't be replaced? Or have you found yourself longing for someone who set a standard others couldn't meet? Your experiences could help others navigate these complex emotions. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and let us know you're here. It's a powerful thing to realize the depth of human connection and the impact we have on each other's lives. And if you're finding value in this exploration, consider subscribing for more insights on relationships and personal growth through the lens of Stoicism. Let's keep this journey going together. 5. She encounters kindness that reminds her of you. Kindness is a universal language, a small yet powerful gesture that speaks directly to the heart. Now imagine her going about her day, and a moment of unexpected kindness from someone, a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger, catches her off guard. It could be something as simple as someone holding the door open for her, offering a genuine compliment, or helping her with a small task. At first, she appreciates it for what it is, but then something stirs beneath the surface. That gesture, however small, reminds her of you. You see, your kindness was never about grand acts or dramatic declarations. It was woven into the fabric of everyday life, expressed through thoughtful attention and a deep understanding of her needs. Whether it was remembering her favorite snack after a long day or intuitively sensing when she needed space, your actions consistently showed her that you cared in ways that words alone could never capture. Now, in these moments of kindness from others, she starts to reflect on what made your kindness so distinct. It wasn't just that you were kind, it was the depth of your attentiveness, the way you made her feel seen and valued. Those moments weren't just acts of generosity, they were reflections of your character. This realization builds quietly. She might not even recognize it immediately, but over time, these reminders of your unique way of caring start to add up. Each small act of kindness from someone else becomes a mirror, reflecting back to her the thoughtful, intentional way you once made her feel. What makes this even more poignant is how rare that kind of attentiveness can be. Stoicism teaches us to act with intention, focusing on what's within our control and letting go of the rest. You didn't offer your kindness as a strategy or a means to an end. You offered it because it was an authentic expression of who you are. And now, in your absence, she starts to see just how meaningful that was. The kindness she encounters from others, while appreciated, often feels surface level compared to the deeper connection she had with you. It's a stark reminder that while many people are capable of kind acts, few possess the emotional depth and consistency that you brought to the table. These moments of reflection often come unexpectedly. She might be walking down the street, smiling at a stranger's small gesture, when a memory of your thoughtful care surfaces. Or perhaps she's talking to someone who offers help in a way that feels familiar, triggering a wave of nostalgia for the way you used to show up for her. And this is where the longing deepens. She begins to miss not just the specific things you did, but the overall feeling of being cared for in such a thoughtful and intentional way. She starts to understand that your kindness wasn't just about making her happy in the moment. It was about creating a sense of security and emotional connection that few others could replicate. Over time, this realization can become a powerful force. She starts to see that the kind of connection she had with you, rooted in mutual respect, care, and emotional understanding, isn't something that comes along every day. It's a rare and precious thing, and its absence leaves a void that even the kindest gestures from others struggle to fill. In these moments, she doesn't just miss the acts of kindness themselves, she misses you, the person who made those acts feel so meaningful. The thoughtful way you noticed her needs. The quiet support you offered without being asked. The small but significant ways you made her life brighter. These are the things that linger in her mind long after you're gone. This longing is a testament to the depth of the connection you shared, a connection built on authenticity and emotional presence. And as she navigates her days, encountering kindness that reminds her of you, she begins to realize just how much she cherished having someone in her life who truly understood the art of care. 6. She observes happy couples. There's something undeniably powerful about the quiet moments when we observe others experiencing joy, connection, and love. For her, these moments of observation often happen unexpectedly. She might be sitting in a park, watching a couple share laughter over a private joke. Perhaps she's in a cafe, noticing the subtle ways a couple leans into each other, their body language a testament to the comfort and bond they share. Or maybe she's scrolling through social media, seeing images of couples celebrating milestones together. In these moments, she isn't just witnessing happiness, she's transported back to her own experiences with you. The way you used to make her laugh, the effortless ease of your conversations, the simple yet profound joy of being in each other's presence, all of it rushes back in vivid detail. But what makes these reflections even more poignant is the emotional contrast they create. She sees the joy and connection in front of her and realizes that she once had something similar, something uniquely her own with you. And now, it's gone. This isn't about regret, at least not entirely. It's about a deep, visceral longing for the comfort and connection she once felt. She begins to understand that those moments you shared weren't just fleeting instances of happiness. They were foundational experiences that shaped her understanding of what it means to truly connect with someone. Stoicism offers a profound perspective here, emphasizing the transient nature of life's experiences and the importance of cherishing what we have while it lasts. As she observes these happy couples, she's reminded of the impermanence of relationships and the preciousness of the bond you once shared. This realization doesn't just make her miss you, it deepens her appreciation for the connection you provided. What stands out most in her reflections is the authenticity of your time together. The laughter wasn't forced, the conversations weren't shallow, and the moments of silence between you were never awkward but instead filled with an unspoken understanding. These are the experiences she now finds herself longing for as she watches others share similar connections. She might try to rationalize these feelings, telling herself that every relationship has its highs and lows, that she'll find something similar again. But the truth is, deep down, she knows that what you shared was unique. The emotional depth, the mutual respect, the genuine joy of simply being in each other's presence. These aren't things that can be easily replicated. And so, each time she witnesses another couple's happiness, it becomes a quiet reminder of what she's missing. She doesn't necessarily envy them, but she can't help but feel a pang of longing for the connection she once had with you. It's a subtle, almost bittersweet emotion, one that lingers long after the moment has passed. These reflections often happen in solitude. She might sit quietly thinking back to specific memories. The way you used to hold her hand during a walk, the warmth of your shared laughter, the comfort of knowing that you truly understood her. Each memory brings a mix of emotions, gratitude for having experienced such a connection, and a deep yearning for its return. Over time, these moments of observation and reflection build upon each other. They create a powerful narrative in her mind, one that highlights not just the joy you brought into her life, but also the emotional void your absence has left. It's in these quiet, reflective moments that she starts to fully grasp the significance of your relationship. Ultimately, these observations of happy couples serve as a mirror, reflecting back to her the depth of her feelings and the unique bond you shared. She begins to see that what you offered wasn't just companionship. It was a profound connection rooted in authenticity, trust, and mutual understanding. And as she watches others experience their moments of happiness, she can't help but realize just how much she misses the irreplaceable connection she had with you. 7. She attends social gatherings alone. There's a certain loneliness that sneaks in when she finds herself at social gatherings without you. At first, it may seem manageable. She tells herself it's just another event, just another evening spent with friends or acquaintances. But as the night unfolds, the absence of your presence becomes increasingly clear. Imagine her at a lively dinner party, the room filled with laughter and conversation. She smiles, engages in small talk, and even enjoys herself for a moment. But then there's a lull, a pause in the conversation, a moment when her thoughts wander. She glances around and notices the other pairs in the room, couples sharing private jokes, friends exchanging knowing looks. And that's when it hits her. There's no one there who truly understands her in the way you did. No one who can predict her thoughts with a simple glance, or who knows exactly how to make her feel comfortable in a room full of people. The kind of connection you shared wasn't just about having someone to talk to. It was about having someone who could be with her in silence, in laughter, in every nuanced moment in between. Social gatherings, once a shared experience, now feel different. The jokes don't land the same way without you there to share them. The conversations feel a bit more hollow without your unique perspective. Even the atmosphere seems to lack something, a subtle but unmistakable energy they used to bring. This is the beauty of presence, something Stoicism deeply values. When you were by her side, your presence wasn't about dominating the room or drawing attention. It was about creating a sense of balance and calm, about being fully present in each moment. And now, in your absence, the contrast is striking. She might try to fill that void with others, perhaps seeking out new connections or rekindling old friendships. But the truth is, these efforts often highlight the uniqueness of what she had with you. There's a growing awareness that what made you special wasn't just your ability to be a great companion. It was your ability to make her feel seen and understood in a crowd. Have you ever found yourself at a social gathering, looking around and feeling a quiet longing for someone who isn't there? Have you ever noticed how certain people elevate the energy of a room simply by being present? If so, you're not alone. These moments of reflection are powerful, and they remind us of the impact we have on one another. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share a time when you felt the weight of someone's absence at a social event, or when you realized the unique role you played in someone else's life. Let's explore together how these moments shape our understanding of connection and presence. And if you're finding value in these insights, consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations of human connection through the lens of Stoicism. Let's continue this journey of growth and reflection, one step at a time. 8. She hears about your achievements. Life has a way of revealing things when we least expect it. She might be catching up with mutual friends, scrolling through social media, or even overhearing a casual conversation when she learns about your latest accomplishments. Maybe you've landed a promotion, achieved a personal milestone, or taken on a new challenge with remarkable success. Whatever it is, it stirs something deep within her. At first, she might feel a pang of surprise followed by a wave of mixed emotions. Pride, nostalgia, and perhaps a touch of regret all blend together, forming a complex and undeniable longing. She remembers the moments when you shared your dreams and aspirations with her. Those late-night conversations where you laid out your ambitions, your hopes for the future. In those times, she was part of your journey, someone who stood beside you as you planned and worked toward your goals. She felt connected to your aspirations, as if they were a shared endeavor. Now, hearing about your successes from a distance, she's reminded that she's no longer a part of that narrative. The triumphs she once would have celebrated with you are now milestones she witnesses from the outside. This realization carries weight. It's not just about the achievements themselves, it's about what those achievements represent. They signify growth, progress, and the steady forward momentum of your life. And as she reflects, she begins to see the gap that your absence has left in her world. What makes this even more impactful is the way your accomplishments highlight your character. Stoicism teaches us to embrace life's challenges with resilience and determination, focusing on what we can control and striving for excellence in all that we do. Your successes aren't just random strokes of luck. They're the result of deliberate effort, discipline, and a commitment to self-improvement. In seeing this, she's reminded of the qualities that made you stand out. Your drive, your perseverance, your ability to rise above challenges, these were traits she admired, even if she didn't always express it. And now, with each new accomplishment, she feels the distance more acutely. It's not about envy or competition. It's about the realization that she's missing out on witnessing your journey unfold. She starts to think about the person you've become, the growth you've experienced, and the life you're building without her. And in that reflection, she begins to understand the true depth of her feelings. These moments of reflection often lead to a deeper appreciation of the time you spent together. She remembers how you used to celebrate even the small victories, how you encouraged her to pursue her own goals, and how you faced challenges with a calm determination that inspired her. Now, as she observes your achievements from afar, she sees just how much those qualities meant to her. Over time, this sense of longing grows stronger. Each new success of yours serves as a quiet reminder of the connection you once shared, a connection that was rooted not just in love and companionship, but in mutual respect and admiration for each other's journeys. And so, she carries these thoughts with her, quietly acknowledging the void that your absence has created. Your achievements, once a shared celebration, now stand as milestones that underscore the distance between you. Yet, in their own way, they also serve as a testament to the lasting impact you've had on her life, reminding her of the person who once walked beside her and the profound connection she still longs for. 9. She recognizes where she went wrong. There comes a moment of quiet reflection, a pause in the chaos of everyday life when she finally starts to see things with new clarity. She begins to piece together the past, examining not just what happened, but how it happened. In this introspective space, she realizes something profound, her own role in the distance that now separates you. At first, these reflections may come in fragments, a passing thought during a mundane task, or a sudden memory triggered by a familiar song or place. She remembers the times when she was quick to anger, when she let pride or fear silence the words that needed to be spoken. The moments when she pushed you away, even when all she truly wanted was to draw you closer. These realizations aren't easy. They come with a mix of regret and self-awareness, a growing understanding of how certain actions or inactions contributed to the unraveling of your connection. Perhaps she recalls the times when she dismissed your efforts, failing to fully appreciate the emotional labor you invested in the relationship. Or maybe she remembers the small but significant ways she took your presence for granted, assuming you would always be there. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-examination and personal accountability. It encourages us to look inward, to face our flaws not with judgment but with a willingness to learn and grow. For her, this journey of self-awareness is both painful and transformative. She begins to see that the misunderstandings and conflicts weren't solely your burden to bear. What's striking about this process is the depth of her emotional shift. It's not just about feeling sorry or wishing things had gone differently. It's about truly understanding what was lost and why. She starts to recognize the moments when she could have chosen vulnerability over defensiveness, patience over frustration, or gratitude over indifference. And as these realizations take root, they lead her to a profound appreciation for the kind of person you were. Your patience, your willingness to navigate the complexities of the relationship, your ability to show up even when things were difficult. These qualities stand out in stark contrast to the ways she now sees she fell short. This isn't about casting blame or dwelling on past mistakes. It's about growth, the kind of growth that Stoicism holds as essential to living a meaningful life. Through this lens, she begins to understand that your relationship wasn't just a chapter in her life. It was a mirror, reflecting back both her strengths and her areas for improvement. What's most powerful about this realization is the way it shifts her perspective. She no longer sees your absence as something that just happened to her. Instead, she acknowledges her agency in the story, recognizing that the distance between you was shaped not only by external circumstances but by the choices and patterns she brought into the relationship. This newfound clarity is bittersweet. On the one hand, it brings a sense of peace, as she comes to terms with the past and begins to forgive herself for her shortcomings. On the other, it deepens her longing for what could have been. She starts to miss not just the moments you shared, but the potential for growth and connection that was left unrealized. The beauty of this process lies in its quiet authenticity. She doesn't arrive at these conclusions because you pointed them out or because someone else told her to reflect. She reaches them on her own, guided by the memories of your relationship and the internal dialogue that follows. And as she navigates this journey of self-awareness, she carries with her a deeper understanding of the kind of connection she wants in her life. A connection built on mutual respect, emotional growth, and the courage to face one's own flaws. In recognizing where she went wrong, she also acknowledges what made your relationship special and why your absence is felt so deeply. It's a humbling experience, one that leaves a lasting imprint. She begins to see that your presence in her life wasn't just significant, it was transformative. And now, in the quiet moments of introspection, she finds herself missing not only the person you were, but the person she could have become with you by her side. As we've journeyed through the subtle and powerful ways a woman begins to realize how much she misses you, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The impact of your presence isn't fleeting. It's woven into the fabric of her life, manifesting in the quiet moments of reflection, in the small disruptions to her daily routines, and in the deep emotional spaces where she once felt most connected to you. Your absence becomes a catalyst, prompting her to confront not only her feelings but also her personal growth. She starts to see that missing you is more than just nostalgia or longing. It's an acknowledgement of the rare and meaningful connection you shared. Through the lens of Stoicism, you've cultivated a presence so genuine, so deeply rooted in virtue and authenticity, that it continues to resonate even when you're no longer physically there. Every shared laugh, every thoughtful gesture, every moment of calm during life's storms, they've left a mark on her heart. And now, as she moves through her days, those marks serve as gentle reminders of the irreplaceable space you once filled. But let's return to where we started. The silent power of your absence. It's not about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about living authentically, embracing personal growth, and creating meaningful connections that stand the test of time. By embodying the principles of Stoicism, self-mastery, patience, and emotional resilience, you become someone whose absence is felt deeply, someone whose presence leaves a lasting impression. Now the question turns to you. How will you continue to cultivate this inner strength and authenticity? How will you ensure that every connection you build is rooted in the same depth and meaning? I encourage you to reflect on these insights and think about the ways you've impacted the people in your life. Have you experienced a connection that lingers long after someone is gone? Or have you been the person whose presence continues to resonate even in your absence? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you found value in this journey, consider liking this video and subscribing to join a community that's all about growth, connection, and living with purpose. Together, we'll continue to explore the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and its transformative power in our modern lives. Thank you for being here, for reflecting, and for seeking deeper understanding in your relationships. Here's to becoming unforgettable in all the ways that truly matter. Stay strong, stay grounded, and until next time, take care.